Y'all can hear me? Yeah. Y'all can see me, right? I'm taller than the podium today. Alright everyone, my name's K.Short if you haven't found out, and today I'm here to tell you all about how to be a student leader. As I've been here watching all of you receive your awards, I know that me and a lot of the resident assistants have been looking out who's the next student leader. I know that Kevin and Hezekiah and Liz and Taylor, I know Taylor and Liz are coming up, and so we were just looking around like who's going to be next. If you want to become a student leader, these are the tips that I just did and no one told me. And so these are just things that I felt like that's what got many of us to the top. That's my name. Don't forget it. So tip number 1, you are the product of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So when you think of the people that you surround yourself with, your family, your friends, your partners, your siblings, all of those people, you are the product of them. And so when you think about that, are they good influences? Are they bad influences? Do they influence the way that you talk, the way that you act, the things that you listen to, the things that you watch? That's extremely important because when you think of successful people, do you think of people who are actually making it to the top, who are actually doing something with their lives, who are actually going above and beyond? Or do you find yourself hanging out with people that are just bored all day, doing nothing, watching TV, watching some more TV, playing some Halo, all of that stuff? No. My point being, the second tip I learned in my first year of college is to learn people's names. I hear a lot of people say, oh, I'm just not good with names. But to me, that's just an excuse. It's called practice. And that's how you get good with names. Many of you, I could say that I know the majority of your names. But I had such a good time with my residents that I could tell you I know all of their names. But not only think about the people that you're surrounded with in your classroom, you think about the people that you meet at the hotspot, the people that are serving your food, swiping your meals, all those people, the custodians. Those are the names you should be remembering because those are the people that are serving us, Brenda. Tip number 2, in my second year of college, get rid of your TV, your video games, your movies, and maybe your partner. I know that may be a little tough. But from my experience as a first year, I came into college in a relationship with my TV, my video games, and my movies. You can't tell me you don't give them time every single day, right? Exactly. So I had this huge TV, about 36 inches, I don't know if that's big, but, and I had my rock band, my Guitar Hero, my Tony Hawk, my Bully, my Midnight Club, I had it all. But it didn't get me anywhere. It got me nowhere because every time I came home from school, I would be playing video games. I'd bring everyone over and play rock band, of course I would get the lead and all that stuff, and let everyone else do the drums because there's no coordination whatsoever. Y'all laughing because you know how hard it is. But also those movies, I got rid of all my movies, and that's when my grades started getting better. That's when my relationships started getting better. That's when everything started getting better because I wasn't putting that time and effort into something that wasn't giving anything back to me. It was just wasting my time. And I know it's hard for us to get rid of these things, but if it doesn't make you successful, why is it even in your life? So in my third year of college, I learned I had to join something. I was just your typical college student. I did what college students were supposed to do, right? Go home, use the restroom, take a shower maybe once or twice a week. Y'all know that ain't true. That was a joke. But join something. Anything. I don't care if it's an anime club, softball, Quidditch, whatever your heart desires. Join something. Because that's what's going to keep you here at NAU. Being connected. Because if you don't feel connected, you're going to leave. Think about it. If you don't feel connected to your partner, your family, your friends, your school, your class, you disconnect yourself. You leave. You flee. So when you find something here at NAU, get connected to it. Something. Anything. And if it's not here, create it. But stay committed to it. That's where the hard work comes in. And that's what's going to keep you here at NAU to make sure that you all walk across that stage. The second thing I learned in my third year was to put yourself out there. For myself, I know it may be hard to believe, but I wasn't much of an anybody in my first and second year of college. But it wasn't until my third year that I realized I needed to do something. I needed to put myself on the map at NAU. And so I ran for student body president. But it's because I knew that to get my name out there was to make sure to do something that no one's ever done. I wasn't in ASNAU, I wasn't doing much, like I said, I wasn't even involved yet. But when I saw the opportunity arise to run for student body president against people that have already been a part of ASNAU, it was a huge step for me. It was a huge opportunity for people to reject me, to not accept me for who I was. Because as you already know, I'm not your traditional student or a traditional person, so that's a lot to handle for a lot of people. But when I put myself out there, I know that put me on the map with Dr. Patton. I think that's when he started noticing me, along with a lot of other people around campus like Dr. B, because I had to go to Dr. Brando and ask him, hey, what was it that made a great student leader on campus? And so he goes back in his awesome years at NAU, and he recalled those student leaders on campus. And so all I had to do was apply. So even though I lost, it still taught me a valuable lesson that people do want to see who we are and want to see what we have to offer. And I know it's scary going outside of our comfort zone, but when we go outside of our comfort zone, that's when we're really living. That's when we're really growing. In my 4th year, thinking that you're supposed to graduate, but things happen. Something that I learned in my 4th year was to not waste my time and effort on useless jobs, volunteer work, or activities. And what I mean by that is not taking on things that doesn't bring anything back to us. But to become a student leader, you have to be intentional with your work. You have to recognize the time that the time and effort you're putting into this position is something that you can get back, those transferable skills. But when you're working at those places, how much can you really get out of that? How much are you really challenging yourself? And same with volunteer work. But I'm saying if you're going to be a doctor, we should be volunteering in the hospitals. If you want to be a teacher, you should be volunteering in the classrooms. And same with activities. That red Solo cup isn't going to get us anywhere. And that's the truth. Are you going to put your time into effort every weekend into that red Solo cup? What is that doing for you? You're not getting up for class the next day, I can tell you that much. So recognize the activities that you do. Is it going to make you successful? And the second thing that I learned in my 2nd year was to take advantage of the time that we have to ourselves, especially those breaks. Every winter break, every spring break, every Thanksgiving break, every summer break, every break, and you all have a great start right now because you didn't just sit at home like a lot of your peers that are just watching TV. But the time that we have to ourselves is so precious because that's the time that we should be working hard. Exactly what Dr. Patton showed us. That football player worked harder in preseason than he actually did in the game. So when you have your weekends, when you have your spring breaks, your winter breaks, your Thanksgiving breaks, this is your time to work hard. But when we realize that it's what's working hard and not being entitled to anything is what's going to get us far, that's when we realize that these breaks are more important than anything. It's not the time to watch TV and to play video games. It's the time to do something and to get ahead of the game. And I just love this quote. Only boring people get bored. And it's okay to be bored and to soak in those moments of boredom. But when you're bored all the time, you need to ask yourself some questions. Why am I bored and why am I not doing anything? Whether if it's simple as building a relationship with your roommate, or even if it's just reading a book or doing community service, whatever it is. So I'm finally about to graduate. Oh, I already did, huh? Cool. 5th year of college. I think the hugest lesson that I learned in my 5th year of college is personal branding. You're going to be hearing a lot about that within the next 4 years, and it comes down to talking about everything down to social media, to the way that you carry yourself every single day. Where's Stephanie? I remember sitting at the front desk, and Stephanie dressed up as she usually does. But I think it was one of her down days. I was like, hey, what's up? And she's like, oh, nothing. And she was like, I like dressing up on the weekends. I was like, nobody sees you on the weekends. Everyone sees you during class. And so when I talk about personal branding, I talk about that every single day you get up and you get ready for the day. You do not wake up and wear sweats and to wear basketball shorts or whatever it is because you woke up 15 minutes right before class. We wake up getting ready every single day because it shows that the professors that you're ready to learn and you're ready to work. And everything down to your social media, everything that you post on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, if you're talking about last night, people see that. People see that if you're just talking about other people's gossip and all that stuff, they see that and they want to associate with us. But when you start putting things that you're doing and that you're being successful and all those things, opportunities will start coming to you. It's very intentional. So it goes down every single day from your social media to what you wear every single day. And the last thing when it comes to being in my 5th year that I learned last year is to stay on people's minds. If you want to be successful, you got to be throwing those curveballs, Dimitri. Where it's like it's not predictable every single day that this person's going to be doing this and doing that. But throwing those curveballs like running for student body president, throwing those curveballs by being an RA, throwing those curveballs by doing something that other people haven't done before. So staying on people's minds, not being forgotten that easily. So the last thing I want to show all of you
From a program called STAR, where my RA, Student Special Assistant, Upper Bound Academy. When I saw you in the union, and I was like, she looks pretty cool.
I'm Malcolm, my God. Orientation session for Greek life.
For NAU's College Town Conference.
NAU 100.
And you're running for student body president.
She knows everybody, so everyone's like, hey Carla, this is Kathleen, you should know her.
Being a student leader on campus.
Leadership roles, making an impact, making splashes in the university.
Because I see you everywhere on campus, you're always involved, you give off that vibe where it's like, I need to know this person. You're like super stylish because you have like a very unique dress attire.
She's a little crazy, full of energy, gave off a good vibe.
Clean cut.
You like seem like a person who knew like how to carry themselves, and you're confident.
You were loud. Yeah, I'm not even gonna deny that.
I was like, wow, she's got a little bit of swag.
Why did she have so many friends?
Like, really funny.
But you're very sweet, a little feisty.
I thought you were really cool and I wanted you to be my best friend.
Anybody can kind of just come up and talk to you.
Hey, I came in and you were like, girl, come sit down right here.
You will always speak your mind.
Super smart. She knows how to get to people in a good way.
A go-getter, somebody that's able to make things happen. That follows a passion or a purpose.
They know what they have to offer, they carry themselves well, they know what they're doing, walking with a purpose.
Wow, this girl is something else. You have the courage to do things that I wouldn't do. You got it together. Focused, creative, you're going places. You're a mover and a shaker.
You are not the norm.
I want to be that person's friend.
Dancing in public to music, being comfortable.
Deep chat, I guess, in your room that late night.
Talent show when you dance to Justin Bieber.
Definitely just like talking to her. Super real, so like you know that anything you ask her, she's not gonna like BS you.
And you were there trying to get everybody to participate even though they wanted to stand on the walls.
Being your friend in general is memorable.
Proudest moments was a decision for you to run for ASNU. Are afraid to really put themselves out there, and you were willing to do that.
You started talking about my illness. You seemed genuinely concerned. That really meant a lot to me.
ASA and ASNAU, social justice activities. You stood out in a dorm of 800 students.
The poem, when you made me cry.
The words that you had, it causes you to think.
Development.Leadership.
That's when you really got to know me and you made me cry. But then you also gave me a hug and said you were proud of me. Honestly, I feel like that was when my life started turning around.
Because when you came in and talked to me, you had a series of questions. I mean, they were intense questions. They just weren't surface. They were in-depth. And I had to really think.
Kathleen, what? It's all gonna end. Like, it's not gonna be like this forever. And you're like, well, yeah, so just enjoy it.
We had a heart-to-heart, gave each other the biggest hugs that we've ever given people in our entire lives.
Every moment with you is memorable. Seriously.
When it comes to being a student leader on campus, learning people's names, getting out there, doing things that you've never done before, getting rid of your television and your movie and your video games, and all of that important stuff that I just mentioned 5 minutes ago. If you want to be a student leader, which I saw many of your hands go up, there's one thing that you need to know, that there's a lot of sacrifice that comes with this. You're going to lose those weekends working on yourself, those spring breaks, those winter breaks, that Friday night, whatever it is. And a lot of you have already made a sacrifice today, being here for this past month. And you saw that. You could have been home just like everybody else, but you're here. And that's one step closer to doing something that you've never done and to be somebody on this campus. And so like Kevin and Dimitri and all of us know, it is sacrifice. People are going to be watching you at all times. Everything that you do, they're going to watch. And so it's a decision that you have to make. It's very intentional. If you want to become a student leader, it's a decision. It just doesn't fall in your lap. You decide that you want to be someone on this campus and that you're going to make a change, whatever it is. So once again, good luck. And I look forward to everything that you all are going to do in the next 4 to 5 years. Thank you.